Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Thanks for coming out. What we have here is a 700 watt tailgating generator, 900 peak watts. My buddy Matt, who's the two-cycle vintage motorcycle guru of Manatee County, including Holmes Beach, Anna Maria Island, Lakewood Ranch, Braden River, as well as Mayaca City, dropped this off for me recently to look at. So I figured since today's generator day, I'd keep going with this one. Earlier, I had rectified this for a coworker. He had found it in a gated, deed-restricted community. Somebody had pushed it out to the street. What we had here is a plugged up seat in the float bowl. The fuel was not filling the bowl. I unplugged it with a torch tip cleaner and it starts and runs. I gotta bring this to work and give him the generator. I'm not going to charge him. He's found push mowers for me and I've made a shitload of money on those. So kind of all over the place today. I kind of have been doing this project here. It's just a saw blade, and what I've done is put some Osfo on it and then painted it with Rust-Oleum, a couple of coats of paint. So the red was a mismatch from Lowe's, so I got it like for $2 a quart. The yellow is strictly Rust-Oleum yellow. So I'm thinking about putting my house numbers here. Use a stencil and put my house numbers here and maybe put this on my fence. I've repositioned my side fence to allow me more storage for mowers. I may put this on the gate with street numbers. Or keep your ass out of my backyard. Might put that on there. So that's that. We got 90 in the shade, which is a little toasty, but the humidity's down, so that's that. 2016 Turo, I just dragged that out of my side yard. That's going to be my next project. I want to try to sell that here at the end of the season. Been having some interest for self-propelled with bags, so hopefully I can come up with the bag for the 2016. So I just mixed up some 40-to-1 two-cycle because I didn't have any. I had bought this at a yard sale for $2, a 6-pack. So one of these little bottles to a gallon of non-ethanol. It'll give you a 40-to-1 ratio. The Stormcat here calls for a 50-to-1. So my 40-to-1 will be a little more oily mixture than the 50-to-1. 50-to-1 is going to be a little thinner on the oil, which is fine. My 40-to-1, it might smoke a little bit more, but I'd rather have more oil than less oil. The only issue with that is it'll be smoky and maybe you'll have to change out the plug more often. So run 15 to 20 minutes every 3 months or add fuel stabilizer. I don't think Matt did any of those things. That's why this thing don't run. User must operate properly. That's a no-brainer. What do we got? Warning. Do not fill tank when hot. Do not smoke while filling gas tank. Do not overfill. So typically it'd be 2.5 ounces of oil to every gallon. Do not exceed certain amperage. Clean air filter regularly. So these things, Harbor Freight sold their own version of this. This is just a Storm Cat. I forgot what theirs was called, but years ago they used to be like 89 bucks. And if you went on one of their weekend sales, you could get them for like 79. They're more money now. They've gone up in price. So let's start disassembling this thing, see what the deal is. It's probably going to be fuel related. I kind of peeked in the tank here and it looks kind of red, if you can see that. Dark and red, like rusty. Yeah, I can see the little bit of gas here on the strainer when I lift it up. It's kind of discolored and it looks kind of cruddy down there. So I think we got a stale gas issue. So I think the first thing we should do is probably pour the gas out of here through the filler. Why don't I do that? Get as much out of the tank through the top as I can. So I've just got a half of a bleach container here. I'm going to pour it into this. So a lot going on today. Fix that generator. I'm going to be kicking over to that Toro recycler after this little project. So a lot going on. Couple of coats of paint on that saw blade. I started a few days ago with Osfo. Put Osfo on it to seal the rusty surface. Did a light sanding of that and then started painting it. I think I'm up to 2 coats of yellow, 2 coats of red so far. Yeah, why don't I got another container which is cleaner. I want to see the color of this fuel. And I can't really do it with that dirty container, so I'm going to use this clean bleach container. So tell me, you guys, what's been shaking with you? What are you fixing? I know all my northern friends, you're moving into the snow blowers because the grass is hibernating. We don't have that luxury down here in Florida of working on snow blowers, so the grass does hibernate, though. In the winter, it doesn't grow or grow too much. Gated communities, you got to keep the grass green, and so they irrigate all year long. And so the grass will grow a little bit. But for a cheap guy like me, I don't irrigate. I let Mother Nature do what she has to do. Okay, here we go. I don't know if anything's coming out. Hopefully I'm over the container. If not, I'm filling up my tailgate with old gas. I'm kind of moving it side to side. I can hear it trickling out. Oh, I'm missing it. I see a big puddle forming. Oh, damn it. Well, that's a bitch. Okay, maybe we can get the rest out through the fuel hose. Okay, we don't have to worry about motor oil because it's 2 cycles, so. Okay. So I have to have a brief discussion with Matt. I know gas with 2 cycle oil should be colored. It'll be a little dark, but it shouldn't be red. It should be more black. Or sometimes they tint it green. This is really brown and nasty. Let me use a smellometer. It kind of stinks. Sometimes the 2-cycle will actually preserve the fuel more so than just straight ethanol fuel in a tank. The 2-cycle oil tends to help you along. Okay, so let me get organized here. The mailman just showed up. He's scanning packages. Oh, good. He's getting out of his van. That means I got something. No, he's going to my neighbor's. He must have missed a package or a letter. Okay, so what I want to do is, I guess I won't worry about that gas for now. It's going to evaporate. I was going to try to soak it up. So remind me to talk to Matt about his fuel deal here. Let me take off, it says air filter, so I'm going to take this off. See what this is all about. See where the carburetor is located on this thing. Okay, he's back at my box. Looks like junk mail. Junk mail, no packages. Well, that sucks. I got some crap coming in from AliExpress. Some mower parts. But that's on a slow boat from China. That'll take 4 weeks, but I have patience. Okay, clean air filter. And I guess this is the air filter. Are you kidding me? They're calling that an air filter. It's just packing foam from a shipping container. Okay, whatever. So we got some gas seeping here. When I was turning the unit every which way, it looks like some gas came out of the carb. Excuse me. So let's eliminate the possibility of no spark or bad spark. I did notice it has a torch plug, which is notoriously problematic. We're going to do a little carb spray, happy juice, directly into the carb. I'm going to pull on it. If it starts, then we know we got fuel issues. So we got on is up, which is the straight line, and 0 is off, which is down. So I had seen a video of a fellow YouTuber. He said a good way to remember this is the I is for ignition, 0 for off, or O for off, stop. Because I remember I did a video with you guys on a generator, and I had the switch on 0 because I thought that was on, but it's actually off. I is for ignition, which is what you want. You want ignition to start. Okay, enough of that. Let me reach around you guys and pull on this thing. Start and stall. So let's concentrate on fuel. We're going to have a fuel issue here. So it looks like a couple of nuts here. Let's see if they're 8s. They are 8 millimeters. So let me use my DeWalt impact. Take these off and see what the carburetor is. So I'll put that straight down, just in case 1 or 2 are longer than the other. I'll put this here. I know it goes up to that hole. Okay, this is longer. These should be the same length, I'm guessing. And they are. So that's that. The little flat piece here is on the bottom. Something like that. So what else is holding this piece of crap together? Okay, the choke lever, that's got to go all the way to choke off, it looks like, to get it past the plastic. What else? There's probably wires here and wires behind the receptacle. Kind of looking behind the unit to see what we need to remove. They really don't help you out here as far as screws. I thought there might be a screw behind there because I see a bracket up in this area. This is a pisser. I want to get to the carburetor. Okay, so there are two screws, two wires going to the on and off, gray at the top, black at the bottom. So the black is ground, which corresponds with O and stop. Black is ground, so you're grounding out the ignition. Let me get some needle nose and pull those spades off of the switch. We'll just keep going down the line until we remove what we have to. I guess I could turn it over and try to get a better look. I'm going to do that. There seems to be more access under here. So let me put some stuff to the side. This is kind of a shit show, but sometimes it's like that. I'll screw the cap tight again in case we got any more raunchy gas leaking out. Okay. Luckily it's 2-cycle and we're not going to spill a bunch of oil all over the place. Okay, there is an on and off. I see some fuel leaking out of it now, out of the carb. So maybe this was my issue. The fuel shut off was on off, but the fuel, as you saw, looked kind of crappy. So if anything, we might be doing excessive work for nothing, but we'll find out here in a minute. Okay, this seems to be all one piece. But how is it attached? I see some screws from the back side here. Oh, okay. There's like a metal bracket. Maybe you have to take the tank off to reach it from the top. Well, that's a pisser. Why don't we just try to work on it from here since we have access? I don't feel like I want to take the tank off because it looks like there's a bracket back here that you got to reach from the top. So the hell with that crap. I'm gonna remove this. There is a drain here actually. You could stick a Phillips head in and drain off any bad fuel. I'm just gonna remove that. What's that look like? A 10. I gotta grab a 10. I don't have a 10 here. Yep, here's a 9 and it's gonna be a 10. I believe. Let me grab one of those. Where's a 10 when you need it? Okay, I got a 3/8 drive with a 10 on it. I got a couple of 10s actually. Yep. Well, that didn't work out too good. Since I had the bolts off, it was just stuck here with the gasket against the intake, and that little bit of pressure pushed it off. So Matt, if you're watching this, I'm destroying the shit out of your little tailgate generator here, the Wildcat, or whatever they call this piece of junk. Stormcat. I probably should have left the stupid bolts in this thing before I removed the bowl. But a little bit of surface rust on the nut, I kind of get an indication what I'm going to find behind door number 3. It just looks like it's got some oily gas residue, kind of stinks, but I can smell the oil there. Don't want to destroy this O-ring because this is a China piece of junk, and I'll probably never be able to match up that size O-ring for the carb. Looking at the jet here, it looks like it's open. There's a little brass jet here on the side. I'm going to take a bread wrapper and just poke it through, use some compressed air, kind of give it a good blast, and put it back. So I don't see anything really out of the ordinary here with this. It could have been my stupidity with the on and off switch for the fuel, but I think just looking at this, you probably had this thing sitting for a couple of years. Like I said, the 2-cycle oil will help you along a little bit, but eventually you're going to have an issue. Okay, I got a little wire here. I'm going to poke it through. It went through easily, no restriction. I can see the tip of the wire there. So let me blast this out a little bit, wipe this clean, and I think we'll be in good luck. Maybe remove the fuel line when we get it all back together, because I should have access from the side. Let any of the remaining fuel in the tank pour out, and then start on a fresh note. What do you say? What do you say to that plan? I think it's a good plan of action, and we can correct it as we proceed. Always have a plan of action. You always can make slight adjustments as you proceed. Just wasting time thinking of the best plan can be a stinker. Sometimes you gotta get moving, get shaken, and then adjust accordingly. Okay. Got my compressed air. The float seems to be moving up and down, no restriction there. I think we're good. I'm going to start reassembling it. Paying attention to where the drain is to this side, so you could get your Phillips head in through here. There's a little opening. So if this crappy O-ring does not leak, I'll jump up and down. I have researched these before as far as parts. You can buy carburetors for these crap boxes. They sell them. There's probably one maker of this turd, and they just changed the sticker to whoever buys 5,000 of them in a bunch. Okay. So sorry I couldn't help you better on getting this piece of plastic off, but I think it'd be a shit show. I think you got to go down from the top once the tank's out of the way, and I'm not in the mood to tear this thing down completely. Okay, so that's tight. Maybe turn it back over and start fresh. Put this thing back together, right side up, because I don't think I got to do anything else down here. Well, I guess I could loosen this up, the fuel clamp, since I got room now. Okay, so I just come up with the plan. This was not my original plan. See what I mean about changing your plan mid disaster. Okay, so the hose is off. What I'm going to do is turn this thing over, let it drain, and since I have more room with this plastic piece off, I'm going to do the draining now. So let me grab this one, kind of manipulate this thing. In a way where I can let it drain. Okay, I'm kind of holding it up. Let me go to the fuel selector. Okay, fuel selector should be on. Yeah, it's on. And I don't see anything coming out. A couple of drips, so maybe we got it all. What I'm gonna do is use some air pressure. Take the cap off, remove the screen. I'm gonna take a rag and kind of trap my air here, force some air through it, and blast out the fuel line, because I didn't get but a couple of drops in here. Or maybe we got rid of all the fuel in it before, but I'm gonna try to blast this thing out like so. Something like that with a rag, and give it some air. So you're kicking back all that vapor, and it is dripping out of the fuel line, and I got it on the on position on the valve. There's probably it's kicking it up into the rag. Oh, the tank looks pretty dry. Just put my hand in there, that kind of dried it out. There's probably a screen in here somewhere. I'm gonna go to the fuel line and then blast from the bottom up just gently, in case there's a wire screen. I don't want to blow the screen out of place. So some light pressure there. So that turned out how I wanted it to. So I'll turn this piece of crap over and we'll put the carburetor in the, not the carb, the hose, put the hose back on. Okay. I like that it's a 2-cycle, so I can manipulate this thing. Okay, I'm going to put my hose on. Now move the hose clamp up. You can tell by moving the fuel line, it's really thin rubber. Really pliable. Okay, my clamp is way down there. But we'll get it up here where it needs to go. So I've looked on Marketplace since he's dropped this off, and I've seen a couple for like $50 not running. Probably same issue, crappy fuel. So you could pick one up for more than half off retail if you were so inclined. Okay, so the gasket's still in place. We may be able to do this thing upside down. I just shifted the choke lever through that little notch in the plastic. Maybe we can put this thing back. We know that this gizmo, the flat side here, needs to be on the bottom. We got Florida Power and Light. He's backing up. I hope somebody's meter didn't crap out. That would be a stinker. Okay, so those are fed in. Let me try getting this thing started. We'll try to get the holes to line up. I should pay attention more to my zoomy zoom, bring you really down into this mess that I've created. Okay, where's my 8? I just had it. It should be here. Okay. Kind of eyeball this thing. Get one started at least. Where are we at? There we are. There's 1, 2. My hose clamp is back on. The shorty was on this side, and it had two washers fell off, so maybe one goes behind the plastic. That's what I'll do. I'll put one back here, which I just dropped, so I'll use my needle nose, fish that out, or grab my magnet. I'll use my magnet. It's always something. I can use my needle nose and magnet. Use the needle nose to hold the magnet. Okay, there we go. Now we're cooking. We're cooking with fire. Now if I can get this thing started. Okay, I see. Did it twice. 3 times is going to be a charm. I'm going to do it this time. I'm really going to concentrate. I'm going to wipe the grease off of my fingers. I'm going to line it up, and everyone's going to be happy. Come on now. Don't screw up Tommy Time's Storm Cat video. Okay, we're threaded. We're threaded. Okay, I got them all started. What else do we need to do? Oh, we got to put the on and off switch wires, gray at the top, black at the bottom. How is my choke lever? Let me see, feed that through. I might have to coach that. There we go. We got that through. Okay. Okay, we could do the wires, I think. And I'll turn it over. I'll turn it over and use the needle nose to do the wires. Flip it over. Tighten down that black plastic backing plate. And these 2 screws here for the shitty piece of foam, which is supposed to be the air filter. So let's do the spades first before I really tighten anything down. Gray at the top. Oh, looks like he's putting a new meter on. He's got a meter on in his hands, and he put his hard hat on. Those guys are serious. There's not a chance in hell he's gonna have a brick come out of the sky and hit him in the head, but yet he's got his hard hat on. He's not climbing a ladder. I guess the rules are the rules. Don't break the rules. Supervisor comes by, see him without the hard hat, he's going to be shit out of luck. We don't want that. We want him to keep his job. They're gone. Yeah, they don't live there full time. They're just rehabbing it. They come every few days to do painting and shit. I think you can get through the back there if you have to on that side gate on that side. No, there's no dogs there. They don't walk through here because of the plastic fence. They walk through the other side. Yeah, no sweat. Just helping him out. He's trying to change the meter. Asked me about dogs. No dogs. I know they don't have meter readers. They did away with that. It's all electronic now, even for the water meter. They just drive up and down the streets, and the transponder in the car reads the meter. Okay, I should have brought a light. I'm trying to trying to do this in the dark. Okay, got one on. Gray at the top, which is what we wanted. And black at the bottom for off. Sorry, kids, if this wasn't the smoothest repair, but now I'll know in the future. Just do the job from the bottom. Okay, I'm still working this gray wire, trying to get the spade on the momentary switch. Not really momentary, it's a two-way switch. Okay. All right. So that's on. Let me do the bolts for this backing plate. Put this useless thing back in, put fuel in it. And I had a grinder out here to use on the other machine. I gotta get that and plug it in. It should be able to run the grinder, no issue. It kind of says right here on the sticker what it'll run. A box fan will take 200 watts, so you could run a couple of those. A mini refrigerator, 400 watts running, 700 watts startup. So this would run a mini fridge. Or 10 60-watt light bulbs would use 600 watts. Okay, so this is snug. Put this useless filter back in place. You could probably come up with a better filtration element than what they're supplying you with. And if you don't clean it regularly, it voids the warranty. The 30-second warranty, it's warranted 30 seconds after you leave the store. After that, you're SOL. Sol. Okay, that's tight. We got it on choke. We got it on I for ignition. Let's give this thing a drink. A drink of 40 to 1 2-cycle. But first, we got to hydrate. So I wonder if the house is being sold next door, if they're renting it, or what's the story. They've been messing around over there. Painting. I've been cutting the grass for them just to try out my repaired machines. Because it gets tall, they don't do a thing with it. So I figured I'd be a good neighbor and get a chance to use my machines over there to see if they're going to crap out or not. I don't think this thing has seen much use. Okay, let me get a grinder. I'll plug it in here, get this thing started, and see if it'll produce. juice, 120 juice. So this took us less than an hour. So next time I'll be able to do it a little quicker. First time's always a charm. Okay, it's off. You don't want to put a load on it at startup. You want to turn off your appliances first and then turn the generator off. Okay. It'd be helpful to put the fuel selector to on, which I just did. Let's kind of look under here to see if we're leaking any gas. I don't see anything leaking. Yep, no leaking. Bottom of the bowl's dry, so I'm going to continue as prescribed. Chokey. Off chokey. Torch brand. Let's see what we got with this. The threaded connector here was a little loose, but that shouldn't have hampered us. Let me take this piece of junk off and see if we have spark. So this is taken plug wasn't even tight, so I don't know what that's all about. Let me wire brush it. It wasn't even tight. Maybe he was going to check the plug and didn't take it out. Okay. I'm just going to blast a little air. Doesn't look bad. Okay, let's start over. Well, let's just check for spark. Which is going to be difficult because the pull start is on the opposite side. Maybe I can do it left-handed. Try to ground it out. No spark. Or maybe we do. Yeah, we got spark. I'm going to take just a shot of carb clean, put it down there, put this thing on. Okay, that's tight. We're really going down a rabbit hole on this thing. I don't know, do we have a fuel issue? We got it on. I keep checking that. Fuel is in the down position, which says on. Well, it seemed to generate power, but it just crapped out for no apparent reason. I know we got plenty of gas in there. That's not an issue. Yeah, we still got gas, so this thing crapped out for nothing. So that sucks. Maybe I got to go through it again. The carburetor, actually take it off. Let me see if it'll start now. It started off choke, so maybe it was flooded out somehow. That's the only way I could get it to start, was off choke completely. Starving for fuel. Okay, it's almost been an hour, 55 minutes. Sorry. I may take the tank off so I can get the bracket here off. There looked like there was a screw holding a bracket from the top. So, couple of 8s, move the tank to the side and give me access here, and then I can get the carburetor linkages off. What a pain in the ass. But I'm going to spend some more time on it, maybe work on that later. Okay. As always, tip your waitress and wait staff. Appreciate you coming out. Sorry that it was a shit show, but you know the deal. Sometimes it is, sometimes it ain't. Today just happened to be a monstrous day. Take care. Come back and see me. I'll write a little description. I'll probably work on this, and then when I post the video, I'll tell you if I got it running or not in my little brief description there at the top of the video. Have a good day today. Thanks.